Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge with Chrisnatha. I am your host, certified life coach, author, and speaker. And today I have an incredible special guest. She is the Black female jeweler herself, Miss Gina White. And Gina, we are here on Swag Her Media as well as the Masterpiece Lounge. And we love to celebrate amazing women, specifically Black women, who are building their empire. And you are no exception. So we're excited to have you here with us today. Welcome, Gina.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You look absolutely stunning, first of all.
Thank you.
You look
Thank
awesome.
you. You as well, beautiful.
Thank you. So, Gina, I want to ask you, because I want to hear this in your own words. Who is Gina White?
Gina White is first and foremost a Black woman, an entrepreneur, a mother, um, and I guess in all things, all a radical change maker would probably be the biggest portion of my story. Um, Through my story and what I love to do, my biggest job, I feel, that's why I'm here on earth, is to create impactful and meaningful change. So that's definitely the first thing. That's definitely one of the most important things after
Awesome.
doing.
Awesome. And so I learned that you grew up in Houston, Texas. Is that right?
I grew up in California. I always say that Houston raised me, though. That's where I came into myself and I more so realized who I was. So that is,
Gotcha.
it definitely, city definitely raised me.
Awesome. Are you still in Houston or are you back in California?
No, I actually am currently in Atlanta.
Oh,
Um,
awesome.
I live here now. I've been living here. I've had other homes in the same time frame, but I've been living here for almost 6 years now, as well as Houston and back and forth to LA and
Hmm.
Vegas. So I'm a traveler. I'm definitely a
I
traveler.
love it. Traveling is where it's at. That's awesome. So I wanted to ask you, when did you first get into the diamond and the jewelry industry? When did that first take place for you?
Okay, so I started the design phase of it over a year ago, like a year and a half ago. But into the diamond industry about the same about a year ago. What was going on was I was traveling to Africa and I saw a need that in general, when you travel overseas, we always know that's eye opening and it's impactful. But with me already kind of being in the industry, in the jewelry industry and other facets and other regions, I just saw a lane that was unnavigated by people who looked like us. And it just personally bothered me. As women, we love jewelry. We love looking beautiful. We love accessorizing. We love doing
Hmm.
our thing. But I had already started another jewelry business, so to speak. And it took me into a space where, okay, I'm traveling here. I want to figure out how to make meaningful impact. I know a lot of people. I'm well connected, so I was like, how can I do something I love, make money doing it, and change the world at the same time?
And I know that one of your desires is to bridge the gap, right? From, like you said, from us, from the African diaspora, and with the world. So, what are your plans to do that, or what are your visions or your thoughts or dreams in terms of making that connection?
Well, the first thing is exposure. We were having this discussion earlier today. A lot of people just don't know, and if you don't know, you can't even begin to make the change. And me and my friends, we always say you can only meet someone as deeply as they've met themselves, and that comes
Hmm.
giving people the opportunity. So this year, I've been working with the Minister of Tourism in South Africa. We are trying to bring 100 Black entrepreneurs to Africa, probably by towards the end of this year, to expose them and to expose their followings into what's going on over there and how they can be a part of that bridge gapping, because it's definitely going to take a team, not just me. We even talked about a little bit today about the baton passing, me doing my part, which is passing the baton and opening up that door and showing people how beautiful it is over there and how their small changes are so impactful to bridging that gap. It's not just me. I need everyone's help.
I think that's amazing that you want to, like you said, pass the baton because education is so important and information. And like you said, a lot of us may not know or just not thinking about what's taking place on the other side of the globe, right? We're just kind of stuck in our own world or just so focused on what's going on with us. So it's so important to expose, like you said, those entrepreneurs to a different way of life or looking at life in a different way in terms of a different lifestyle, just a mindset surrounding jewelry or luxury, so to speak. So I think that's really, really important. And I just commend you on the work that you're doing in terms of spreading the word and getting people mind open to something different.
Yes. Yes. I mean, most people, as soon as we have the opportunity to see, I tell people when they go over there, don't really have a lot of expectations. Just go and be and exist when you get over there, and things will definitely come to you. I mean, my goals and plans in this industry have definitely changed. The reason why I say a year is because not that I haven't been dealing with it over a year, but it wasn't in the form of jewelry. So prior to that, I was wholesaling the actual stones. So I had experience in that. And what ended up happening was I had a situation that could have been perceived as something that would have made me want to stop or a challenge. I went over there and I made a bad purchase. And when I made the bad purchase, I ended up putting my pieces in jewelry and ending up recovering, what could have been a bad situation. Everyone's like, get into jewelry. It's like, no, I wholesale. It's too much work. Or not too much work, but I don't feel like getting in that aspect of it. Mm-hmm. I like to do quietly. That's why you don't see as much of it. And I'm starting to evolve and open up to that side of my personality to the world. So I've already been in the industry, just not on the jewelry side of it, just the commodity side and the trade side of the business. So now I'm stepping in and saying, okay, it's time to create my own line and to tell my story with creating my line. So you'll notice coming up, I'll have collections come out. For instance, I have a Tanzanite collection I'm working on right now, where you'll see me travel to Tanzania and you'll see me go into those Tanzanite mines, but you'll also see me have fun and travel and just do my Black girl thing
Awesome.
while we go out there. So there'll be a story behind the pieces. You'll see where I got the pieces from. You'll see where my hands touch the pieces in the mines before they're set into your jewelry. And then I'll incorporate my diamonds into a lot of pieces and stuff like that. But each piece has a story. I've touched each piece from its rough state to its polished state before it's given to you, before it's presented.
I love that you're taking us on that journey. And I do want to ask you, you just mentioned the rough state to the polished state. For some of us who are not as educated in the industry, what does that mean and what does that look like, going from the rough stage to the polished stage?
Yes. So, okay. So there's two different worlds. You have the gemstone world and you have the diamond side of it. So from the gemstone, a lot of times, like I see people, and we wear a lot of crystals for, balancing our chakras and different things like those. Those morganites, the quartz, the amethyst, those are in rough industrial states. So we do see gemstones here, but they're usually in industrial states. I'm getting pieces that are gemstone quality, so it's a little different. Same thing with diamonds. So diamonds have a state they're in before they're polished. They come out. It's hard to describe. They're a little milkier, a little browner, a little rougher in texture. Kind of look like rocks. If I had them, and I wish I had them right now. If I had them in my hand, you would think it was just a pile of rocks in my hand. I just posted a picture on my Instagram. The last post was I had 250 carats in my hand of rough diamonds. One thing that's interesting when I got in this industry was that you have third and fourth generation diamantier families who've never seen what a rough diamond looks like. They're well-versed on the sales side, well-versed on the polished side, but they've never seen a diamond before it's bruted, cut, and polished. That's a process it's not even in Dubai or Belgium. Most of that process happens in Africa before you see your stone. So you lose a little bit of the carat weight. So I had 250 carats in my hand. Those are very good quality stones with really good shapes and depth. So they probably would polish out to be around, I would say, 125 or 140 carats of stones in my hand.
That is awesome. And it just, to take it a step further, I just love when you talked about the process of the diamond starting off rough. I just think about us as people and on our journey, how we may be rough around the edges, right? But that doesn't mean we can't polish ourselves off. We can't learn a new skill. We can't open ourselves up to a new industry and then really begin to kind of shed some old stuff and really become a more knowledgeable and even successful in a new lane. And I love how you're owning your lane. I think that's amazing. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I did want to ask you a question. I'm sure the viewers want to know this. Selfishly, I want to know it too. So, in terms of diamonds, right?
Okay.
How would I know if I'm making a good purchase? Or would I know as the consumer? Of course, we always see it at the polish stage, but is there a way for us to kind of say, okay, when making a decision, these are the things that I should look out for, that I should consider? Are there like a couple things that we should be considering? And if so, can you tell us just a little bit of what that might look like?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very glad you asked this question. I know people who spend millions of dollars on jewelry and don't know anything about jewelry. It's insane to me. So this is a questions that we need to start answering, because diamonds are not only good as luxury pieces, they're investment pieces. Commodities are investment pieces. In other cultures, in other societies, we don't utilize it as such. We use it as jewelry. Many people use it as currency and trade and to hold on. I mean, I'll play devil's advocate here and say that, I mean, I come from a real estate background. So I'll play devil's advocate and say that gold and diamonds hold value better than real estate. And it's something that you don't even have to, in my opinion, you don't have to manage your gold and diamonds like you would a property. Gold especially gains value at a much more rapid rate than most pieces of real estate. So if you, in other countries, they understand that we work off the gold standard. Most countries' dollar, besides ours, is backed from the gold standard, and their currencies, especially strong currency holding countries. So understanding commodities is super, super important, and making the purchase is an investment. You have to think of it as such. So there's no bad stone. It's a commodity. There's bad pricing. As long as you pay the right price for something, you can't go wrong when it comes to purchasing a commodity, in my mind. So the biggest thing that we do as Blacks, like I said, or any race or a lot of people, I mean, this is a network for us. So my biggest thing is to inform Black men and women about these types of things. So when you first look at a stone, like let's just say it's polished, right? The first thing I would say to do is get a GIA cert. GIA stands for the Gemological Institute of America, and that is the leading world standard in grading stones. So anytime you get a GIA cert, they have given that diamond a specific number, and it's laser inscribed microscopically into the girdle of the stone. The girdle is the edge around the pavilion. You would need a really fine microscope to see it, but if you would go to anywhere that had a loop, any local jeweler or jewelry shop, they would be able to see it for you to make sure it matches. So first things you have the 4 C's. That's the term we use in the diamond world. The 4 C's are color, cut, clarity, and carat size. So colors range from D to Z. D being the highest, the clearest, the most colorless stone, and Z being very yellow and a dark stone. Then you have the cut. So you have different facets of the cut. You have your facet, which is like your cushion, your emerald, your round brilliant. And then you have the dimensions of the cut. So if you look on your GIA certification, it's going to tell you how well the symmetry the depth of your stones to let you know if it's a good stone. And it'll tell you the characteristics, whether it has feathering or where the inclusions sit in your stone. Then you have clarity. So that's the terms we hear most often: BBS1, BBS2, SI, flawless. So as long as you're purchasing, and there's tons of information. That's what's so beautiful about living in today's society. You can find a diamond calculator and make sure if you put the color cut clarity that GIA said it was into your calculator, you can make sure you're making an informed decision. Don't just go to the jeweler and buy something off the shelf. Make sure your stones are certified and make sure they're real stones too, because that's a problem we're seeing as well.
I love it. So make sure they're real stones. That's important. Gina, I feel like you just literally have given us a master class on how to choose and purchase the right diamond. So thank you for that, because that's just so important. Because sometimes I do see maybe people might just like the way something looks, and they're like, okay, that's it. But there's so much more work and things you need to look into to making sure that you're making a good purchase. And I loved when you talked about investments as well. I think you just really shifted something in my mind for me personally about looking at jewelry as an investment. And so I will definitely be
it's a legacy. These are legacy pieces. Other cultures, they pass jewelry down for generations and generations. I mean, especially royalties and monarchs, but just other cultures, they pass their stuff down. My great grandmother had this. They become heirlooms. They become priceless articles. So yes, it's definitely an investment piece, and we treat it as such, like as we would maintain our house or we would maintain our car. These aren't even depreciating assets. My car depreciates as soon as I drive it off the lot.
Right.
The housing market, we just saw with the pandemic, places where properties were worth one thing have now plummeted. Diamonds and gold have not plummeted at all. They've gained in value, even through a pandemic, and they've been doing it for centuries, and it has not. I mean, they made it through polio, smallpox, every pandemic. If you pay attention to the housing market, it's always, and you honestly never own your home in America. You owe taxes. If you don't pay your taxes or you don't pay your association fee, you can get booted out. Once you buy your diamond or your gold, it's yours forever, as long as it's in your possession.
Absolutely. Diamond and gold, a great investment, everybody. You heard it here from the Black female jeweler herself. Okay, so take note. Take note to that. So thank you for that. That's amazing. I just want to quickly touch on for other women who might have now gotten an aha just by listening to you and all the great information that you shared, who might feel like, I just want to look into this some more. I may want to, really get more knowledgeable about this industry. I may want to learn. I may want to wholesale. I may really want to see where I fit in the jewelry industry. What is some advice that you would have for them?
Specifically in the jewelry industry. So the first thing is the obvious fact. It is a pricey business to be a part of. So there is a lot. You do have to have the resources to be able to, from the wholesale side, you wholesale out of Africa. So you'd have to get over there and get your feet in the ground. Actually, part of what we're getting ready to do with the 100 Black entrepreneur situation is get people, not only entrepreneurs, but potential entrepreneurs who, like you said, okay, I want to be involved. How can I get involved? How can I get past the red tape? That is back to what I was saying. It's a serious group effort. That's why I need so many people on board with the movement to get us back over to a place like that. That's where it all comes from. They sit on the most resource-rich land in the world, and helping them to get their resources out, it helps them and it helps us. So us going over there and investing our dollar in all of their businesses, not just even diamonds, but there's so many businesses that people can get involved in, especially if they already know something about something. Everyone knows something about something, whether you think you do or not, and your information is valuable. And how you can put that into play to connect our people back home, because they need us too. We need each other in this time period.
Absolutely.
So that's once we realize they really love us and they receive us well in Africa. We always think breaking up the narrative that we don't like each other is another big misconception. Is that one of my um, first and primary goals when doing all this. But specifically in the diamond industry, I would say, wow, there's really so many ways. I mean, you can be a designer,
Mm-hmm.
you can get your license and become a jeweler. You can work in, jewelry stores. But for women, the design side, adding in our culture, adding in our swag, I always feel like being a Black woman is like being a superwoman. We take things and we funk them out. Like if something was like regular before, we just flip it on its head. So I would love
Absolutely.
to see what more of our Black women could design and come out with, because we're culture changers. We shift the
Absolutely.
whole culture. It's a beautiful thing. So I would definitely love to see more Black female designers in the jewelry industry.
That's awesome. And then I believe that we can reflect our culture in the designs of the jewelry that we create. So I absolutely agree with you there. So that is awesome. So ladies, I hope that you were listening. There's so many ways to get involved in this industry. So definitely hope you were taking note to make sure that you really explore this if it's something that interests you. Gina, you are amazing. And we had such a good time just having you here. You've definitely given us so much insight and so many things to think
Yes.
about. And I want to know, how can we stay connected with you? How can we make sure that we have eyes on what's going on so that we don't miss this upcoming launch you have with your collection? So where can we find you and how can we stay connected?
So I am on Instagram right now. That's Gina White. All no, there's no underscores, anything. It's just that's Gina White. Probably the second week of May is when I'm launching my site. As I said before, I was on the wholesale side of this. So I'm so excited for y'all to see my journey as I take my knowledge in that industry and how to rough and polish and design and actually put it into my line. So that will be dropping second week of May. So if you stay up to date with me on my social media, you'll be able to get updates as to me, my life, what I do on a daily basis, and my journey. You guys are definitely taking this journey. And I think that's the most beautiful part. Y'all will go through this process with me. I show the good, the bad, the ugly, and we can, like, it's that same process with the diamond, that rough to polished state,
Yes.
undergoing that pressure to make something really beautiful.
That is awesome. We definitely want to be on the journey with you. We have people saying congratulations. So thank you guys. Gina is excited about her upcoming collection. We're excited. Gina, we're going to have you back so we can talk about the collection once it's out.
My documentary will be here in a couple of months as well, where y'all get to see me travel through South Africa. We have a ball when we're up there, y'all. It's so much fun. It's so much
Oh,
fun.
wow.
So that'll be coming up soon too.
That's awesome. That is exciting. So the documentary is coming up, everyone, and then her collection is coming up too. So we're super excited, Gina.
I'm
You
designing
are
as well. I'm designing a facet. So you'll see some of my jewels have a
awesome.
facet. A facet is what's like cushion, round, brilliant, pear shaped,
Mhm.
oval. So I'm creating a Gina White facet too. So that's going to be revealed here over the next couple of months as well.
Ooh, I'm excited about your year. You have some incredible things coming up. That is amazing. That is amazing. Well, you are officially a friend of the show. We'd love to have you back. And we're so excited about everything that's going on with
Yeah.
you, for you. And we're just excited. We're super excited. And just want to commend you once again for really just creating a lane for yourself and just showing us how to own your lane, be true to yourself, make a difference, and open the doors for other people while you're doing it.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
amazing. So
Y'all
Miss
come.
Gina White, Miss Gina White, any last words before we wrap up for the day?
Just everyone be fearless. Be fearless. We're walking in a time of a lot of uncharted territory. So just be fearless and be okay and accepting of the unknown when nothing is for certain, anything's possible. So that's
Awesome.
my token to you, my gem to you.
Awesome. That's our word for the week. That's our word for the rest of the month. Be fearless. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Miss Gina White, thank you for hanging out with us on the Masterpiece Lounge today. Everybody, we'll see you really soon. And until then, be well.
Yes. Thank you guys. Bye.